too. Welcome to Blunt Conversations with Alicia,
Rosemary, and the Blunt.
I'm so excited to be here with you. And
drink. So I feel like the more and more shows we get, the rougher and rougher I look. But I have a reason for looking busted. I'm unemployed. No. So I went from having 3 or 4 jobs to just kind of having one job right now and being home. So I've given up on dressing.
So yeah, she's fake ass unemployed for the moment.
And Twy could not be any she couldn't even hide how happy she was that I was unemployed. Like she was like, "Oh, you're not going to be working, so we can go."
That's not how it was.
And then it was like maybe 10 minutes later, so we can go camping.
I mean, that's what it sounded like to me from how she explained it, and I'm gonna let her explain it. But it sounded like to me like she had
I was fake ass fired.
a vacation.
Well,
not that she was fired.
There was a director whose personal assistant put in her 2 weeks notice, and because she put in her 2 weeks notice, the director said, "Get off the property now." Here you go. So I was a temporary replacement for this Academy Award winning producer who I'm not going to name right now, but it was some Devil Wears Prada stuff going on. But I was totally up for it because I basically my life was conditioned me to be a slave anyway. So I was like, "You're going to pay me?" Ha! Heard you. So just doing the gig, the chick loved me, but because in the previous episodes you'll see where I had COVID twice. So because I had COVID, Lionsgate wouldn't let me be the producer's as personal assistant because they couldn't test me without me having a false positive test. So anyway, without any real notice, Saturday night, I get a phone call from production who's like, turn in your keys and your P card. Tonight's your last night. Now I'm supposed to start a new gig on a new show in May 1st, but it hasn't been confirmed yet. So I called Twy like, "I've been fired." And she was like...
And I was all concerned because I'm like, what the fuck? And I just was like, oh my goodness, because she been...
working 15 hours
all the time, and it's like, "Oh, we love you, Rose, and you're so good, and we want you to work this job and that job too." And so she's like, "Listen to this shit." And so of course, I have anxiety. So when she said that, my feet immediately got cold and started sweating. That's how my anxiety presents. And so I'm like, okay, well, I'm listening to the story, but in the back of my mind, I'm knowing that. First of all, this job that she got fired from was always temporary. It was never supposed to be a full job. And then the other part being, there was another job waiting for her, and another, basically in another week. So I was just like, I get it, but
I also just put in my notice at my state job, my real 9-to-5 job that I've had the whole time I've been in Georgia, that they didn't know I moved from New York State. So I had just put my notice in that week, and then that Saturday, they were like, "Go home." So I was like, I legit went from 3 jobs to just having 1 job, and I was stressed about it, but whatever. So that's why I look homeless today, but I'll look homeless in other episodes, trust me. But the end of this is that Twy gets to go camping. I feel like Twy kind of manifested me getting fake fired. I feel like she did. Every day I would come home to I want to go camping. I'd be like, "Twy, I got a job." And then I just all of a sudden didn't have a job, and she's just on websites looking at campsites. So.
I mean, we are gonna book something today. But yeah, so Rose has a break. She's not fired.
Yeah, I have a break.
And
we're gonna go camping.
And we're so excited.
And we can plan for a blackout camp out because New York State parks fucked us.
Big fucking time. They fucked us over. I'm not a fan.
We wanted to do this because we wanted to do blackout camp out to get people of color into the parks to try and have create an event that created some kind of community. But they didn't want us to have a DJ. Then they want us to go 3 miles away.
Pause. So we've been meeting with a point person from the Parks Department since last year. And
you know who you are.
We have been very transparent with the type of event that we're trying to throw.
They attended the event last year, FYI.
They did attend part of the event. Now we're trying to throw an event that's going to get black people specifically out into the parks. New York State Parks Department has a diversity and inclusion office, but they don't know how many black people are patronizing their parks.
I'm not exactly sure what they're doing with that.
I don't know what that job, that position entails if it's not seeing how many black people are in the parks and getting more of them there and including them. So they take our money, we paid, we secured the venue.
After they had, again, been to the event the year prior, saw how the event was run, saw what we were doing with the event, had approved the DJ and the activities and the itinerary beforehand that we presented to the commissioner of New York State Parks.
So, we give them a whole song and dance. Like, I put together a whole PowerPoint presentation. This is like a seed.
There shouldn't be. It could be.
The showy? This was a 95?
Yeah.
Shouldn't be no season.
That's what I was like. It shouldn't be. It smells like it hit something though. I don't know. There was a cat hair in that too.
Excuse me?
I definitely was like, this is a cat hair.
That's gross.
I don't know. We're trying some different weed.
I mean, anyway, I'm off topic because I was like a seed. And $95.
How tragic.
Anyway. So we send them a PowerPoint presentation. We have a meeting with the commissioner of New York State Parks. We have a meeting with this person, that person, the other. They're like, all right, yeah, sounds good. We're all excited. Everybody smile, smile, smile. We pay the money. 2 weeks later, they're talking about, I get a Facebook message. How unprofessional. I get a Facebook message talking about, oh, you might not be able to have a DJ at your party. What the fuck kind of party is it without a DJ? Huh? What?
Also, you were trying to get black people to do anything. We don't do shit without music. We don't season our chicken without fucking music. You want us to go spend 3 days in the woods without music? It's not happening. And DJ is a non-negotiable.
And that's what we said. I was like,
pretty much that hostile too. Like, it's not like we're tapering this up for you guys. Like, we were pretty much on 10. Like, the bitch got 2 Scorpios.
I was like, that's not negotiable. I was like, if we can't have our party with our DJ, then we'll have to cancel and you'll have to give me my money back and we'll take our business elsewhere because this is ridiculous. It's one thing for us to not be able to have a DJ. And they were like, you won't be able to have a speaker on the waterfront, on the beach. And I was like, so no DJ and no speaker?
Because it's peak season. So basically, because the park is being utilized by mostly white people, which because you have a diversity offer, and that's how much there's a problem. Because it's being patronized by your demographically majority of white people, we can't have a DJ.
Because they got complaints last year. That's the story we got. Now, I think it's odd that we're just now in April hearing about complaints that happened in an event that occurred in September of 2020. Like, it's April 2021, guys. Why are we just now hearing about these complaints? So there were some complaints, and I was like, at this point, I just kind of felt like it's a 4-hour party during the day, and you guys are giving us all this heat about this one fraction of our event.
I feel like if we'd have said we were going to have a square dance off, it wouldn't have been an issue. So why it works out that I'm unemployed is we have to move around our event. We are definitely canceled it with New York State Parks, and
they're off the list. They're a dub.
We still want to have the event in New York State, not just because we're both from there, but also because we're petty and we want to stick it to New York State and have it there and be successful because we know that there's value in this. We know there's worth in this. And so we're going to have it. So me being fake unemployed right now is great because
she literally has a couple days off. Like,
I've been working
this week. I don't know. I just couldn't get emotionally invested in a fake firing. If it was like a real firing and we were about to be financially destitute, I would be like, okay. But like, it's not even real.
I've never been fired. It felt like I was fired because it was like, turn in your stuff right now. And I was like, what?
I mean, she can't keep it.
But
it's
also
lady personal stuff.
Also, the director was still texting me the next day to do stuff for her. So I was like, bitch, I was fired. Like, she wanted me to schedule her pedicure, and I was like, it's scheduled, but also like, it's been nice knowing you. You fired
the
me.
company mad because they didn't communicate to the person who she's assisting that's no longer her assistant. And Rose is better than me because I would have been talking to those people nasty. Because first of all, they took 6 weeks to pay her. So
this is a professional company. I just was very surprised. Like I know Michelle Pfeiffer was getting her checks on time. So whatever. But yeah, so I was just feeling fake fired. But this really works out well because I, in the back of my mind, was thinking about Blackout Camp Out. Then when this happened, I was like, meh. So now we're great at adapting because we have to be. Not because we want to be, but because we have to be. And so we've already looked at other venues. We've already set out quotes for other venues. Blackout Camp Out is gonna happen. But in the meantime and in between time, once again, Twilight, she gets her way. And we're gonna go camping. I was feeling guilty about her being home alone so much, so I'm not gonna lie. Like, she's been home a lot.
No, it's really been me and these 4 walls and the cat. Like, there's boys here,
but she also forgets that she hates people. Because she goes out.
Every time I go outside in Georgia, I immediately am like, oh, this is why I'm in the house. Because...
No.
Abby, listen, if you're not from Georgia and you've been to Georgia... You let me know what you think.
So this has kind of been the plan from the beginning. Like, I go out there, work, scout the people that are worth talking to, and then weed through all the dummies, and then bring them back to her. So she doesn't have to, because she's not equipped.
She's kind of like my professional wing woman. Like, she's not bringing me back dusty.
Not
like, she's bringing me back important people.
Yeah, like, no. So,
but it's been going well. But yeah, so Rose has a couple days off. We're gonna go camping. I'm very excited for that. I got a cot.
She's so thirsty to go.
I got a new little power thing.
She's so excited.
I feel like the stuff that I'm excited about is so boring.
It is.
It's cats and art supplies and camping and dick. I do get excited for that.
Literally, so I've been unemployed for 3 days. And she's like, I want to air out my tent. I'm like, can I be unemployed for more than a day before we're airing out your tent?
I need her help to air it out.
It's going to happen. But literally, I just looked at the calendar and it's Wednesday. I found out I was fired Saturday night. So
I don't see what the problem is. We got sun. We got weed. Yeah. We got drink. We got food.
I got a weed whacker. I'm so excited.
This bitch. I'm gonna get a weed whacker so the boys could do the yard. Well, she was too thirsty to do. Like, she couldn't even let the thing charge.
Also, I guess we should tell them the original plan was not the weed whacker, and Twy wants no part in this. So the thing about her being my roommate is subsequently she's forced to watch me parent occasionally, which is very sad for all the parties involved. Like, me and the children are kind of just winging it. Like, it's just a thing. But I've managed to keep them alive through their teenage years. 2 out of 3 have graduated high school on time. So far, the odds are in my favor. But now and again, I have a pothead moment as a parent.
And I just want to interject. It's not that the third one, like, dropped out or something. He's still in school. So he's not of age yet.
Yeah.
I just wanted to clarify because that sounded kind of...
No, I didn't give up on him. He's just still a teenager. Like, he's still in school. We didn't just toss that one aside and be like, 2 out of 3 bad.
So anyway.
No, he's still alive and in school. But yeah, so I will have these very real potheady parent moments, and I will admit to them because some of y'all are just out here dumbing parenting like willy-nilly. Like, I know
I don't even smoke weed and you're not good parents, and like, what's your excuse? If you're not a drug addict, what's your excuse for being a bad parent? Let us know in the comments.
Because I work an extra job just so I can smoke weed. Like, what's your commitment? Okay? But anyway, so I realize now Twy and I are both Project Hood Rat chicks. And so...
Yes. Give me a project chick. What? Give me a hood rat bitch. Hey! So that's my little theme song.
So, now even though I'm originally from the mountains, it's been years and years since I got to tend to greenery and outside. So when we moved to Georgia, like, we both were unreal about the fact that we were going to have a yard. Like, I was like, whatever, I got kids, we'll figure it out later. Like, it was still cold, whatever. But as we've been pulling up, like every day, I would notice more and more, like our lawn was not looking as nice as everybody else's lawn. We're already the loud New Yorkers. I think they think we're lesbians. Like, I don't need them talking shit about our lawn too. Like, that's too much.
Like, I came outside one day and Rose is at work. So this is before she got fired. And I was like going on a hike or some bullshit. And I looked at our lawn and I was like, our lawn is looking kind of, but I was like, it's not that bad. Like, I was like, it's not that bad. But then, like, I started to look at the neighbor's lawn and I was like, in comparison, we look raggedy as fuck. So, like, this is how we got to this conversation because, like, that morning I came into Rose's room and I was like, Rose,
we're those neighbors.
We gotta do something about the lawn. I was like, because our lawn looks crazy. Like, we gotta.
And I was already there because I was like, oh, how can we fix this like quickly? Now I did have to go. Now, mind you, this is Sunday, so like this is my first day of being unemployed, and all I wanted to do was sleep because I had been working like 15, 16-hour days up until then.
And that's the thing too. Like, she works so much that we don't get to talk sometimes about, like, we might have been had that conversation, but. The lawn is like, of all the myriad of things that happen throughout the day, like, the lawn is not what you're going to choose to talk about.
And I would leave when it was dark.
At work, something weird happened at the house. You're going to talk about that. You're going to talk about the lawn if you only have 20 minutes to talk.
And that's usually what was happening. And I would usually leave when it was dark and come back when it was dark too. So it wasn't that I just wasn't aware that the yard was even a thing. So I, in my pothead genius, I'm like, oh, well, a quick fix until I can get to the store because I really just didn't want to go to the store. I didn't want to go anywhere. I hate driving in Atlanta, and I finally had a day off, and I just wanted to sleep, stressful. And I was a little depressed. I think I was fake fired. At this point, I thought I was still fake fired, and this bitch was fucking texting me about her pedicure, and I'm like, you fired me! Anyway, so I'm like, I'm going to ask the boys to just pick the flowers off, because there was like some, you know, the weeds and stuff, and it's just the flowers, so I'm like, if I just ask them to...
So she's like, I'm just gonna have the boys pick the tall flowers so that it doesn't look so bad. And I said, Rose, you can't. I said, no, we have to go to the store. Like, we have to get tools. And she was like, I don't give a fuck about that. They can pick them flowers. And I was like,
they can just pick the flowers today, and I'll go to the store tomorrow.
I don't have nothing to do with that. Nope. So I went to go cook myself some breakfast.
And so I decided to call the boys upstairs. Now, I will say this. For the most part, Joy doesn't say anything, but as they're coming upstairs, because she's like, oh, this is really happening. Because I think she thought I was joking, but I wasn't.
No, because after I was like, nah, we got to get them some tools. And she was like, I don't know if they could pick them flowers. Then she called them in front of me and was like, I need y'all to come upstairs when you have a moment or whatever. And so they were supposed to come upstairs. But I was like, I'm going to cook myself some breakfast though. I hear them coming upstairs because I hear the younger one calling the older one like, come on, we got to go talk to mom. So I was like, so I came down the hall in her room and I was like, so you really finna have this meeting? She's like,
about the flowers?
Yeah. And I was like, I just walked away. And I was like, I would like to let the record reflect that Salem and I do not co-sign this conversation. We don't have nothing to do with this meeting. I'm not a part of the meeting.
So I just feel like from jump, it was maybe not received well. So they have that information coming in. They're already looking at me a little shifty because they know I want something. And so I'm like, all right.
Ridiculous. They know she wants something ridiculous. The ridiculous part was silent.
So I had the blinds open. And I was like, you see the yard? I was like, it's really bad compared to everybody else's yard. I was like, I'm going to get some stuff, but like, I need y'all to go out there and just pick the flowers off the lap. Off the lawn.
I wasn't in the room, so I'm hearing this with y'all.
I really wish that she hadn't been because I started laughing and these are roasting me so badly I couldn't hear all the things they were saying to me. All I heard was X was like, Ma, I have facial hair. He was like, with my hands and feet though? And then my youngest was like, you're not serious. She's not serious. You do not want me and him outside picking flowers in front of
Now, mind you, I'm just in the kitchen making my cream of wheat. I just hear like voices. I can't hear exactly what's being said. But then at some point I hear, why they're roasting me? And I came down the hall and I said, as they should.
That's all I ever
As they should. Because I said, Rose, is that the look you really want to give our neighbors? We're going to have them outside picking the flowers off the lawn with their bare hands. They're really going to think something weird's going on now.
And then X was like, that's some BC shit, Mom. That's some BC shit. Like, just out there like slaves picking the flowers. He was like, they're going to laugh at us.
They're not going to laugh at you. I should insert that here.
I just wanted a nice yard. But anyway, it didn't go over well. So what the end of that was me going to Home Depot.
Son being like, I'm not even going to argue about this because it's ridiculous. And like they just walked away from her like, come up with a better plan.
You know what's
and
crazy?
Then we can talk.
I love that like my kids are so secure in the fact that I won't kill them. Like I could never the most absurd things my mother would say I would have to do because like she fed me or she would kill me. And like the fact that my children were like, nah bitch, it kind of makes me feel like a good parent because I mean they were definitely like, nah.
I mean, they definitely were not scared to be like, you're being ridiculous.
They're like, we need something.
I don't know if I would have told my mom she was being ridiculous. I might have been like mad. I just would have probably did it and been mad at her.
And just told your therapist about it later, like I do.
And then I would have had an angry conversation with my therapist 20 years later, like, and then she made me go, and I was so mad, and I didn't tell her, like, and that's how my conversations with my mom go.
Literally, the end of that story is me at Home Depot, like, at 8 o'clock in the morning, and then I go to Walmart, and I was, okay, apparently, I was mad thirsty to buy this weed whacker and this freaking blower, and I was looking at lawnmowers and shears. I was all up in that garden. I got a rake. I ran out of money.
What factual old women?
I was so, we have to show them the picture because I brought us home like the old lady set for the porch. So we officially have our chairs and a little table so we can smoke our Dutch and have our drinks and have our little citronella candle to keep the bugs away because we're still old ladies. Like, it's weird.
Yes. But it's a little buggy already. Like, in the bumblebees, they're a little bit too personable. Like, why are they so like, hey, what's going on over here, guys? You just want to hang out? No. Bumble, go somewhere else. Like,
I was looking at Mesh. Like, I'm running
she
out
said,
of
I'm going to tax some Mesh up to the porch. I'm not mad at it. I will help.
I want to be that, like, Miss Fix It. Like, so I got the shit home and was waiting for I was like, oh, yeah, the boys are going to do it. I was thirsty. I was out there with the weed whacker as soon as it was charged. The only reason I went inside was because these old magical Negroes that keep popping up.
Pause. So, she's thirsty to use the weed whacker. I'm thirsty to be sitting on the porch eating food. Like, I'm fat. I'm fucking fat. Whatever. It's not a big deal. So, she also had come back in the house with Chick-fil-A.
I was on a mission that day. I was unemployed with nothing to do.
I put my little Chick-fil-A like nuggets. I had put them in the air fryer so they could be a little re-zhuzhed. You know, I had to zhuzh them back up real quick. And I put my mac and cheese in the microwave. So I'm sitting down. I got my little smorgasbord, you know. I got my little food. And I'm just like trying to eat it. Between time, the AT&T Mr. Fix-It niggas is here because our internet never works. Like, it just is like...
We moved to a fucking black hole Bermuda Triangle of internet in Georgia, and I don't know why.
It just never works.
I think that's why our rent was, like, pretty decent, because they knew we were in a portal of never getting fucking Wi-Fi.
So, dude is here. He been here a while. As soon as I'm sitting down enjoying the porch, he's like, oh, okay, it's done. This nigga just pulls up a chair, like... he know me or something, pulls up a chair, so he starts talking to me about what's wrong with the Wi-Fi. But like, it was like a bullshit conversation because I was like, I don't feel like I need to have to know all this for the Wi-Fi to work. Like, everything you saying, I ain't even interested in all that because I shouldn't have to know it. I should just be able to pay my bill and then the Wi-Fi work. Like, I don't understand why I'm talking to you about Netgear and gigahertz and going to get other devices.
And
like,
I can hear her tone and his tone was just wah bullshit, and her tone is like, wah, why are you talking to me? And I was like, I don't want to unplug anything. That's So she's like, oh, that's Rosemary in the house. Because all I could hear was bullshit. And I was like, stop talking to me about why we got to unplug and plug things back and stand on my head and then take the chair back and then lean it over and count 3 times and do the hokey pokey. I don't want to do that. I just want to watch Netflix or porn like a normal person.
And the whole time she's still beefing with the weed whacker. She's in the house beefing with the weed whacker. I'm just trying to enjoy the neighborhood and have the Wi-Fi work. And it seemed like it's working. So he's sitting down. He's like, it should be working. So I'm like, Rose, go do this, go do that. Check it. Boom, boom, boom. It's working. So once it started working, I'm thinking to myself, like, he's done here, right? Like, but then he was just still chilling in the chair. Also, then this man gonna tell me I'm just gonna stick around for about 45 minutes to an hour just to make sure. So I was like, and I'm thinking when he said that,
a booty call.
Like when he said that, I thought he meant like in his truck. But then homie just still was sitting in a chair. And I'm in such a way where I couldn't like get up and walk away because I was like on the inside of the porch and I wouldn't have been able to get past him because he was this big old white man. Like he was kind of tall.
He looked like you remember the game Guess Who where you would knock the little people over? He looked exactly like the cable man with the one. And I couldn't get to her. I brought my food out because I was like, maybe this will give him the hint. Like then I brought the screwdriver out because
I was working. Like dude got me trapped on the porch, like trapped in the closet. So then he's like, let me give you my number so that if there's any problems, call me tomorrow. Let me know if there's any problems. Now, in my mind, I'm thinking to myself, like, since when? But I'm like, whatever, I'm never going to call you, but sure, give me your number, weird man. So then he tried to flip it, like, because I pulled out my phone, like, I'm ready to take your number. He was like, okay, so what's your number? And I was like, I'll just take yours. I don't want you to have my number.
I watched way too many Forensic Files for any of this bullshit.
So I
was looking at him like, what's happening? So I was like,
I don't like none of it. So finally, this nigga gets up and gets off our porch and out of our chair. And
I went to go get my sons. What happened was I was not liking his energy, his little Forensic File energy. And I was like, let me
I didn't like it either. I felt trapped. I was like, why can't I get out of this situation? Why is he sitting in this chair blocking me onto my... Like, the only way I would have been able to get past him was... excuse me, I'm just gonna slide.
No.
I wasn't gonna do that. He was being so weird.
He was definitely... I was like, Zayden. Like, I said it, like, with more bass in my voice than it needed to have. Like, they were gonna go upstairs, like, some big rock. And he just got up and got his... Because by the time they got upstairs... He was in his fucking van. So I was like, yeah, there are motherfuckers here. Like, because don't get it twisted.
I was like, this is inappropriate. But I was like, like whenever I get into like absurd situations, I'm kind of like I'm like deer in the headlights. Like I'll freeze. Rose is like, alert, there's a problem. And I was just like, I don't want this. Like that's all I don't want this.
You gonna sit on this fucking porch? Like I'm just trying to get my weed whacker and my Chick-fil-A, and you are in my way, sir. So what's gonna happen is, excuse me, I have 2 sons downstairs, and we could just and he was gone.
He sure did keep it moving after the boys came out. That is the nice thing about having these young men live with us, because that was kind of like a weirdy kind of frightening situation, because I was just like, what is this energy you're giving me right now,
I mean,
sir?
For the most part, my teenage boys are useless, but it's nice
but
to have
they look good.
It's nice to like a rented nigga. Like
it looks good on paper. Like, oh, they got 2 niggas in the house?
Yeah, like I just really like they just went out there now and did some yard work, and I was like, yeah, let them know we got some big ups in the house. Like it's not just us, because I feel like people
could listen, because when you watch the Forensic Files, Disappear and all that shit, they always be down south. People just be disappearing. I'm not trying to be disappeared. So let y'all know the AT&T nigga, I got his number.
Like find his card. But what's funny is I keep trying to send my sons outside, and like them telling me about all the Amber Alerts down south. Unreal.
And we couldn't even, because he was like, I'm going outside. There's like an Amber Alert every day. And I was like, there is like an Amber Alert. I couldn't even say, I didn't even have a comeback. I was just like,
and I was like, but are they teenage boys? He was like, I don't know what they're into down here.
I'm mean, we don't. It's true. He be saying valid points.
I can't stand it. I just want my kids to be dumb and ugly so badly. And they're not. I'm like, damn it.
So, yeah. So, I rent the house because I had enough with the AT&T nigga. But Rose she's thirsty for the yard work. She wants to use the tools. She wants to use the weed whacker. She wants to use the blower. I'm like, look at you. You want to use this goddamn weed whacker so bad. Talking about the boys is going to be out here doing it. I was like, you're going to be out here doing it. But I went in the house because I was like, I felt threatened. I need to go to my safe space. So then I hear the yard work going on. And so I look out the window and I was like, look at this one. Out just in her glory, I'm just out here whacking these weeds. And so like I was like, I'm gonna get her. I pull out my phone. I was like, I'm putting her in the stories. And
it can never be that simple. It can never be that simple.
So I'm coming down the steps and I'm coming out the door and I was like, and who is this? I was like, is this the boys out here doing the yard work or is it Rose? And she sees I caught her. She starts laughing. But before we can enjoy our little roommate moment, it's just like I noticed the two niggas when I got out the door. It was like two niggas just standing there gawking, and I was like, why would you just stand there and watch? Like, have the courtesy to offer to help or go do something else when you see somebody.
I believe we talked about this in our previous episodes about niggas stay watching us do labor and just be watching us, and I'd be like, but why?
And then I come out and it's all, hey, how you doing, miss? Like, I can't even come outside of my own porch without niggas watching my friend do manual labor and then gawking at me like I'm some kind of sex. Like, do you think that I'm turned on?
I just don't.
Is it me?
No, I don't get it.
I was out there for a second and I was like, I can't. I can't even be outside in my own house.
I had to come inside because they started trying to talk to me over weed whacker and I was not having it. I do not talk to strangers. Like, that's the whole thing about me. I don't care. Judge me. I know how every episode starts with, oh, I thought no, I don't care about your car being broke down. I don't care about shit you guys trying to sell me. Jesus Christ, none of that. Stay away from me. Don't talk to me in public ever. So he starts saying something. I turn on the blower. And I literally blowed myself all the way back into the house. So baby, he did not have a second to talk to me and then turn it off when I was in the living room. Because I don't like when people talk to me.
No, and it was just, so it was mad weirdo energy that day going on around our house. Like, niggas is weird, yo.
So we have to explain what the magical Negro thing is a little bit.
Right.
So that you could take, because.
So boom. First of all, like, Atlanta is filled with magical Negroes. Like, one time we were in the Walmart and we saw like a super hotep. Like, he had to be a magical Negro. Like, I wish I might have touched him or something. I maybe would have got lucky that day.
I don't know. Like, you would have found out your real African name or some shit. Like, I don't know.
Like, when I say like super hotep, like imagine like a Hebrew Israelite like on 10, but just at the Walmart. So it's like out of context.
Like a Hebrew Israelite Naruto. Like, a super Saiyan hotep. If that makes any sense. That's exactly
what it is. So
all your edit notes, we have to just keep those. the bloopers roll.
That's the only way I remember. I'm getting high. Like, I'm not gonna remember. I'm having a struggle already. I'm not
a struggle.
A struggle. A trouble. A trouble struggle. That sounds like a rape.
Insert blooper reel right here.
What was I saying?
Magical Negroes.
So that sometimes we be driving and they'll just spawn into life like a video game.
Like like in Zelda when like sometimes the walls wouldn't be walls and it would be like a magical room. That's like they come out of the bushes like on the side of the highway like that. Like and people in Atlanta know exactly what we're talking about because it's really a thing. It's really a thing. Like,
what did you see the other night? And I was running my mouth so I missed it.
Okay, so I saw like a level up magical Negro because I know that because he had like an all blue like dashiki with like gold embroidering and like a matching cane with like a backpack. Like he was from the mountain. and he had come down with knowledge. I don't know what, but he was
We're going to talk to one of these. Okay, because the first magical Negro, he was like a low level, because we saw him again. He was like a low level magical Negro, but he just wanted to reveal the information that Rick Ross lives around the corner. And he does. He was right. We were wrong to make fun of that old man, because he was right. And
now we got to catch one.
Now we gotta talk to one of these magical Negroes.
They just be popping up. But yeah, so this dude just showed up while I was trying to mow the lawn, and I was like, oh, it's time to go in the house. But yeah, so that's why we're going camping, and
yes,
she's so thirsty for it.
Very excited.
So we have to go book our camping, and I feel like this is a good time to wrap up.
I think so too. That was a good anecdote.
So hopefully next time you see us in our next episode, we'll be recording in nature somehow. Looks at all the props and wonders how we're gonna. It looks at everything and be
well, I can bring my laptop.
If everything plugs into the laptop, then that could be real.
Yeah, I can bring my laptop, and I have a little power converter thing. So yeah. So
okay.
Do you have anything you want to plug, or do you have anything you want to talk about?
I mean, I might need a job.
Can you let it go? Oh my god. She won't let me get a job.
No, she's an artist.
Who is it? I was like, my auntie was like, maybe you should get a little part-time job or something. And I was like, I feel like I'm Rose's art bitch right now. Every time I be thinking about getting a job, she be like, go paint. And I'm like, all right, son, relax.
But also, let's talk about the clothes you bought yesterday. Were they for the office? At all? Whose office? She doesn't have a wardrobe that would allow her to have any other job besides, like, I don't know, clown hooker. Like, I don't know.
Sexy clown hooker.
Yeah, like, I don't. Yeah, she can't get a job where, bitch. So also there's that part. Like,
yeah. I don't know. I get worried. I'm anxious.
Mm-hmm. I'm anxious too. This is what I'm saying. Email us.
But yeah, so Project Shrink and Violet.
Yes, it's still happening.
She's got a GoFundMe. She's being super unreal about her clothes.
Oh no, I know. So I do have a GoFundMe going for having my skin removal surgery, and I do have a couple possible interviews coming up, which is exciting. So we'll plug you into those podcasts when that happens.
She's supposed to be on podcasts, so that's super cool.
Yeah. No, I'm not totally being a loser. I just am, I went from having 3 jobs to 1. It's stressing me out, but also you have all these so you have you hit a TikTok record for yourself.
Oh, this is probably gonna sound so stupid, but one of my TikToks got like over 5,000 views. Like, for me, that's a lot. I don't know, like, everyone's like, the algorithm. I'm not a fucking scientist, yo. Like, I'm an artist. This painting is for sale. That's my plug.
Yeah.
You can follow me at The Face Goddess. Always be plugging. I got that from Jarvis, at Jarvis. Always be plugging.
And I'm sure she'll be inserting all her little things at the bottom.
Yeah, I'll make sure that we have all our links to our social medias and all that good shit.
Touching stuff.
Yeah. So I'll have our links about here on the stream, or maybe they'll be up here. Who knows? Yeah, I think that's it. And I hope that when my screensaver came in, that this kept recording, because we've been talking forever.
That would be really cool.
Okay.